You already know this word, gaslighting. You've lived it, you've named it, and maybe you've even tried to explain it to others, only to be met with blank stares and puzzled looks. But just because we can name it, it doesn't mean we have fully unraveled it. Gaslighting is more than confusion. It's psychological warfare that just chips away at your trust in yourself. So today, let's not define it. Let's dig into it, because all of us deserve more than to merely survive. You deserve to reclaim your clarity, your voice, and your truth. Gaslighting can make even the strongest person question their own memories and their feelings. It's a form of narcissistic abuse where someone tries to make you doubt your own reality and sanity, often so they can control you. I know it's an awful, lonely place to be, constantly second guessing yourself. So today, let's gently explore all of this together and let's help each other find some clarity. We're going to talk about 5 clear signs that you might be experiencing gaslighting. As I go through them, think about your own situation. Do any of these feel familiar to you? And remember, this is a judgment-free conversation, just me helping all of us check in with our feelings. So take a deep breath and let's start. The first sign is memory manipulation. This is when someone convinces you that your memory of events is wrong. You remember what happened. Maybe you recall a conversation or a particular incident and you recall it very clearly. But the narcissist, they insist that it never happened that way. They'll say things like, "You must be imagining things," or "I never said that." This constant denial of your reality makes you start doubting your own memory. You find yourself thinking, did I make that up? Did I really get it that wrong? Or am I going crazy? If you're questioning events that you know occurred, that's a huge red flag. You are not losing your mind. Someone is deliberately messing with your sense of reality. The second sign is blame shifting. This means no matter what happens, it somehow ends up being your fault. Gaslighters are experts at flipping the script. Imagine you bring up a concern or express hurt feelings, and instead of listening to you, that person turns it all around and says, "You're the one that's causing the problems." They may say, "This is all happening because of you. If you hadn't done X, I wouldn't have done Y." And suddenly you're apologizing when you never did anything wrong. Does that ever happen to you? Blame shifting makes you carry guilt for things that just aren't your fault. It's not fair at all. And as you often find yourself saying, "I'm sorry," when you're the one who was hurt, that's a sign you're being manipulated, that you're being gaslit. Remember, it's not your fault. It's just the narcissist avoiding responsibility by dumping it on you. The third sign of gaslighting is when the person consistently minimizes your feelings. This one's so common and it's really damaging. You share with someone that you're upset or that you feel hurt, and they reply with something like, "Well, you're being so dramatic again," or "It's really no big deal." And they might even laugh or roll their eyes as you're trying to share something that's important to you. And what happens is over time, you start feeling silly or ashamed for the feelings that you're having, and then you're afraid to have feelings at all. This is emotional invalidation, and it cuts so deep. If someone is constantly telling you that you're overreacting or that your emotions are invalid, please hear me. Your feelings are real and they're valid. You have every right to feel the way you do. A loving person, they're not going to mock you or dismiss you. They're going to try to understand your feelings. You are a human being with a heart, and your heart knows when something's wrong. Let's listen to our hearts more. The fourth sign is a sneakier form of gaslighting. It's when they start damaging your reputation or credibility behind your back. A gaslighter might spread little rumors or make comments to others, suggesting you're unstable or unreliable or even crazy. For example, in Annie's case, her husband was telling friends and family that Annie's been really forgetful lately. She's imagining things that never happen. Why do narcissists have to do this? Because if they can make others doubt you, not only do you doubt yourself, it puts you in a state of isolation and it makes it harder for you to seek support or be believed. If you're hearing comments like, oh, people are worrying about you, or they say you're not okay, and you know you're fine, it's probably gaslighting. The narcissist wants you to feel alone, dependent on them and them alone. It's a cruel tactic to make you question yourself even more. Remember this, the opinions that the narcissist is spreading, they are not the truth. It's part of gaslighting. The fifth sign kind of ties it all together. The gaslighter's overwhelming need to feel superior. They always have to be right. They always have to be the smart one. Of course, the one always in control. How does it show up for you? It might constantly one-up you or belittle your achievements. If you get a compliment, they'll find a way to tear it down or to shift focus back to themselves. When you try to assert yourself or call them out, they double down, getting even more manipulative and angry. Deep down, their ego is just so fragile that they can't stand the idea of being wrong. And they're definitely have to be above you. They can't just even be on equal footing. So they push you down. They make you doubt yourself to keep themselves feeling powerful and important. And if someone in your life never apologizes, they never acknowledge the points that you want to make, and they make you feel inferior, that's a huge warning sign. Healthy relationships are equal. Both people's voices matter. In a gaslighting dynamic, only the gaslighter's voice gets to matter. They need that superiority like oxygen. But hear this, their need to feel big doesn't have to make you feel small. You are not inferior. They just want you to believe that you are. Now, I want to share a short story about Annie that might resonate with you. Back in the day, Annie was a warm, confident person when she first met her husband, but over time, things changed. For instance, Annie clearly remembered Santino buying tickets to a rock concert. Annie went out and bought a new outfit, got a babysitter. She was just so excited. But then the night of the concert, Santino told her he wasn't taking her, he was taking his brother. He told her that her recollection was all wrong, and he insisted she must have dreamed up the whole thing, started to doubt her own memory. How could she have gotten something like that so wrong? And then another time, they had had an argument where Annie told Santino that it upset her when he made fun of her in front of his friends. And you know how he responded? Boy, you are overreacting again. You just can't take a joke. And he went on to say that if she wasn't so insecure, she wouldn't be feeling that way in the first place. Annie found herself apologizing. I'm sorry, maybe I'm too sensitive. But inside, she was crushed and hurt and confused. Santino, over months of this, Annie became a shadow of who she used to be. She became anxious. She was always apologizing, walking on eggshells to avoid upsetting Santino. And then one day, kind of much later, Annie had a moment of clarity. Someone had become really friendly with told her, "You're not the crazy one, Annie. Santino's lying to you. He's the one that's crazy." Hearing that from someone who she really respected, it was like turning a light on. All those times Santino had made her question herself started to click. She began to realize this wasn't her fault. She wasn't losing it. She wasn't too sensitive. She was being gaslit, and she had never even heard that word before. With support, Annie began to trust her own memory and feelings again. It wasn't easy, but she started healing the self-doubt that he had planted in her. I share Annie's story because I want you to see that you're not alone and you're not imagining things. Gaslighting can happen to anyone and can take time to even recognize what it is, especially while you're just right in it. If Annie's experience sounds anything like what you're going through, take it to heart and understand the problem isn't you and it never was you. Now let's come back to you. Hearing these signs and Annie's story, how are you feeling? I hope I validated your experiences. Let's take a second breath. You're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. The fact that you're watching this and reflecting on it shows how strong you are. You're facing a difficult truth head on, and that is so extraordinarily brave. Gaslighting is designed to make you lose trust in yourself. So recovery starts with doing the opposite. Learning to trust your inner voice again. Remember that little voice inside that says, this isn't right? That gut feeling that flares up when someone's treating you badly? That's your inner compass. It might have gotten drowned out, but it's still there and it's spot on. You haven't gone crazy. In fact, deep down, you've always known the truth. I want to affirm something for you, and I really mean this. You are not confused or crazy. You're being manipulated, and your feelings are valid. Trust your heart and your mind. If something feels wrong, it probably is wrong. People who truly care about you will want to help you resolve your confusion, not deepen it. They will respect your reality. They won't deny it. Leaving or confronting a gaslighting situation can be very hard and sometimes scary. So please be gentle with yourself. You don't have to have all the answers right away. Maybe the next step is just reaching out to someone you trust. Could be a very close friend who understands narcissistic abuse or a therapist who's trained in this area, and talk about what's been happening. Hearing a supportive voice say, I believe you, can make a big difference in your life. Remember Annie? Just took one friend validating her reality to start turning things around for her. You deserve that too. And as we wrap up, I want you to know I'm proud of you for listening and reflecting. Gaslighting can make anyone feel lost and small, but I see your strength in seeking the truth. Keep listening to that inner voice. It's your truth, and it will guide you out of the fog. You're not alone in this, and nothing is wrong with you. You're deserving of love, respect, and honesty. I don't want you to forget that. Be kind to yourself and keep that compass of yours pointed toward what you know is right. In time, the confusion will fade and you'll feel like yourself again, confident in what you know and how you feel. Trust yourself. You've got this. And I'm here rooting for you every step of the way. If this message resonates or you feel moved, I invite you to comment, I am Annie, in solidarity with every man, every woman rebuilding their truth on account of narcissistic abuse. I so appreciate all of your comments. I read them, I feel them, and I answer them because it's just so important. If I can be a part of your validation, then I'm doing my job. We're helping each other. For those of you who are new to this podcast, I'm Kyle Hackley, attorney and author of Undercurrent, a story about a young woman who breaks free from her narcissistic marriage, and she finds the extraordinary life waiting for her on the other side of narcissistic abuse. I want you to remember that Annie isn't just one person. She is any man or woman who has ever experienced narcissistic abuse. And as always, I want you to know that you are stronger than you ever believed. I want you to be tenacious and never give up on what's important to you. Thank you so much for walking this journey with me. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time.